Cody and my money has always been separate up until Christine and Janelle chose and asked to be out of the family financially.
So we just gonna lay it on Christine and Janelle. What about Mary and her contributions? Robyn is pretending like the OG3 have been gone for years. At this point, we have to keep in mind that this show was filmed in 2022. It had only been months since Christine and Janelle actually left Cody.
I used to be not so great with money when I was young. I had hard knocks. And then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. You just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all.
Liar, liar, your pants are on fire!
See, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where it gets crazy. And this is why time for Dog James.
Power level is? It's over 9,000! 9,000?! There's no way that can be right!
I'm coming in.
Like, I'm tired of hearing Robyn with the excuses. And it's always this, oh, woe is me, or let me explain, guys. It's not what you think it is. The first time, it's not me, it's you. When we're talking about the marriages, oh no, the marriages, yeah, they fell apart. Well, if the marriages are falling apart, you get your butt in there and you work it out. Marriages are hard work, and you're just lazy, Christine, Janelle, Mary. So you guys aren't really trying to make the marriage work with Cody. I'm perfect, and when I do it, I have the honeymoon experience because I know how to do marriages. When we sit here and we start to talk about money, I save money so I can buy nice things. You guys waste your money. What, on like stuff like paying rent, mortgages, your bills? That's how they wasting their money? Robyn claims that Janelle is bad with money. I have no time nor tolerance for this bull caca. If Robyn ever sees this video, she's gonna claim, oh, James, that's not what I said when I said it. Let's break it all the way down, shall we? And you know that I brought the receipts. First of all, nothing happens in a vacuum. What are we talking about? Janelle is complaining because she doesn't have anything in her name. Meanwhile, Robyn is sitting in a $1.6 million home, according to what she's trying to sell it for, with an additional 2 acres sitting in front of that property, not to mention the acreage she has on Coyote Pass, which is 7.58 acres that she has her name on. And this isn't even including the acreage that Cody has his name on, which is 100% of the land, which means that she has a vested interest in 100% of Coyote Pass, as well as all the assets, knickknacks, doodads, and bull crap that they have in the house. This also includes driveway full of motorsport vehicles and cars and trucks and trailers. Like, she owns all of those things. Saying you have a budget doesn't account for all the things that you've been acquiring over the years with zero income, aside from the sister wife money that you're making that everybody else is making. Everybody else is making the same amount of money. The only difference is you guys are all putting it all into one pot, and you and Cody are in charge of the pot. Robyn claims that she and Janelle have different priorities. On this, I agree. Janelle's priority was taking care of the family. Robyn's priority was taking care of Robyn. So we're very clear. I acknowledge that Robyn is no mathematician. She's actually closer to a math magician because she's making money appear out of nowhere. Another thing that really bothered me with that whole commentary that she put out, Robyn is also trying to throw shade on the OG3 because she played up the whole I'm a divorcee who had to figure it out for myself, whereas these women went from their daddy's house to Cody's house. Now, that argument might work on Mary and Christine, but it falls very flat when it comes to Janelle. Let me explain. Janelle is also a divorcee. She was married to Mary's brother. When she left her marriage, she left with a house. I don't know whether she had the house as part of the marital assets or this is something that she picked up independent of her marriage or what. But what I do know is, according to the book, that bestseller that you all are so proud of, it describes a situation and scenario where Mary and Cody moved in with Janelle into her house when they were first married. In total, she brought not only a house, but a stable income into the marriage when she came into the family. Conversely, remind me again what you brought into the family, keeper of the bombed out budget. Unemployment, 3 kids, and $30,000 in debt. And what makes it even crazier, this isn't even the first time that she talked about finances and being a single mom and how she did it when she was alone and independent.
I've always known what's going on with the finances in my life. And when I was on my own, I worked, I took care of my own money, I paid my own bills. It was just me. So coming into the family and not working, it was like this huge transition of going, Cody, I need to pay a bill. Do I just put the bill on the counter? How do you want to work this?
This is ridiculous. First off, I gotta say this. You're 30 years old. At that point when she was doing this video, she was 30 something. You are not a little girl. Stop acting like a little girl, little infant child who is lost. Oh, Cody, Daddy, what do I do with this bill I got paid? Oh my goodness, clutch my pearls. I'm catching the vapors. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay, all I'm going to say is when you're detecting a lie or deception, it's not always one big thing. It's not the big thing that exposes everything because you're telling this one big ass lie. It's a lot of little things, because some of what she said could be accurate and could be true for some people. There are people who find themselves in a financial situation where they have to struggle and budget, and they learn to do different things because they have to learn to go without so that they can get more. That's something that happens. It occurs. And I think that that's a very honest thing. But there are people who observe these things happening, and they take those stories and try to apply them to themselves to explain things or explain away things, and it doesn't make sense. For instance, according to Robyn, she was in this terrible relationship with this horrible man, this terrible dude, and she was mistreated, mishandled. The finances were all jacked up. She even claimed at one point that the $30,000 in debt that she brought into the Brown family was something that was held over from the family, and she just took it upon herself because she didn't want to create a problem, but she implied that it was actually partially or in whole his debt, her ex-husband's debt. Now, with that being said, she went on to say in the book, her experiences were so bad, she learned to build a wall around herself and be completely reliant on herself. Now, my question is, how does Robyn justify to herself entering into a family with multiple wives, 12 children, one on the way, and then turn around and say to herself, Miss Independent, Miss, I'm not going to rely on nobody because of my experiences and how I had to learn to budget and do without because of my terrible situation. Months after my divorce is finalized, I'm going to enter into this family, and the best possible move that I could make for myself and my kids is to become completely reliant on this man and my romantic rivals, because that's what sister wives are. That's what these women were. That's how they presented themselves. Even in season 1, episode 1, when they were talking about Robyn coming into the family, they had presented themselves as romantic rivals to each other and Robyn. So why would I trust this situation with my family and with my kids, and more importantly, even more direct, with myself? Why would I put myself in that situation? These stories don't add up. Math magician. I'm just saying, make it make sense. Now let's keep in mind, when she made this decision to join into the Brown family, there was only the promise of a paycheck. They didn't know if this show was going to take off, if this show was going to work. They didn't know if this show was going to go 5 episodes and they would have to do the marriage episode and wrap it all up. They had no idea that this was going to last 19 seasons and be as successful as it was. So If you made these plans and you decided that you were going to be relying on these people, it makes zero financial sense that you would put 100% into this show that may or may not take off and make yourself so vulnerable. And then at the same time, claim that you're some kind of financial whiz or some kind of money genius, some money mogul. And that's how you were able to do the things you're able to do. Make it make damn sense, math magician. Another thing. When she entered into the family with 3 kids, herself, and $30,000 in debt, the family she was coming into was in extreme and severe financial difficulty. There had been bankruptcies. Hell, Christine had filed bankruptcy while she was pregnant with Truly. So they had a fresh bankruptcy on the roll. So you're going to marry a guy whose wives are declaring bankruptcy because he's not taking care of them. And that's the move you made? Oh, love is such a wonderful thing. It must make you stupid. And then on top of that, you were merely adding to the burden which already existed in the family.
I mean, there's no bones about it. I was very worried about the financial, and I really did not see how the dollars and cents were going to work. I mean, we were struggling to keep the roof over our own heads, and we were going to bring this person in and pay rent and groceries, and there was going to be no income coming in. I was worried.
Did you hear what Janelle said? We're going to be paying rent and groceries. So you're going to be 100% reliant on them. Zero job, zero anything, no money that's going to help to subsidize any of the payments or responsibility that you were putting on top of this family. But you know, you're the queen of budgeting, and you knew what it was like to struggle when you were single. So you go right back into a marriage where somebody else is taking care of you. Make it make sense. And let's be, and I'm going to be brutally honest here. What kind of mom looks at this situation? Because you have 3 people. If you want to be reckless and wild with yourself and loose with yourself, that's one thing. That's just careless. That could be, what do they call that? YOLO or whatever. Okay, fine. That happens. But when you have 3 kids who are relying on you and you look at yourself and say, yeah, they could barely take care of themselves. Let me bring myself, my kids, my bills, and throw that on top of them. No problem, right? Ever hear the saying, the straw that broke the camel's back? Here's a pro tip. It's not that single straw that broke the camel's back. It's the million other straws underneath it. This family was barely surviving month to month. Janelle had said earlier in season 2, when they started actually getting into some of the finances, the first introduction of the Brown family finances, she didn't know how they were going to make their bills month to month, but somehow they were just making it. Then Robyn comes in and adds more bills. Not only does she add more bills, but she has an entire house around the corner that the Brown family is paying for or helping to pay for. They're paying to put groceries in that house. Groceries that aren't going to feed their kids, housing that's not going to roof and shelter their children and their responsibilities. They're going to give it to somebody else. That could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. That could have been a financial straw that ruined this family. But Robyn was okay with it. And of course, her being the master budgeter, she understood that she could come in and put that type of weight on them and it wouldn't cause any problems or harm. And we have to recognize that this family was pushed to its financial limits.
I mean, it's like we were working together for so long, and we didn't actually stop working together until, just recently, when Janelle's bringing up, that Cody and I owe her something. It's like, how do you calculate? How do you figure that out? It's so confusing.
Man, this is some bull.
Sneedle. It amazes me how confused Robyn is when it comes to her house, her home, and how much money was given to her and where the money came from and how she was able to attain the down payment deposit, not only on her home, but the property next to her home and the acreage that she has on Coyote Pass. She has no idea where that money came from, and she's so confused because all our money is mixed together and all this, that, and the other. Here's the thing. Did I ever mention, one, how off-putting the whole Lost in the Babes routine is for me? Did I ever mention that the one thing that I can't tolerate is the fact that people lie to me? See, because when you lie to me, you're telling me in no uncertain terms that, one, you either think you're like way smarter than me to the point where I can't understand certain concepts or ideas that you're presenting to me and I can't get a grasp of what's real. Or two, you think I'm just that dumb. Just because you feel like an idiot, that doesn't mean that you're talking to a village of idiots. And your stupid lies only reveal to me where you are intellectually. Because when you tell dumb lies, that means you're dumb. That's what that means. This is a dumbass lie. How do I know it's a lie? And how do I know that Robyn has completed her true villain arc? Because you've revealed yourself. Give people enough time, they'll show you who they are and what they're about. And this lizard brain woman is sitting here trying to tell us that she's so confused when it comes to this money. But ironically, when it came to Christine and her money and how she was able to attain her house, oh, she knew everything. Oh, when Christine bought her house, we gave her the money. That was family money. They gave her the down payment for her house. So when she sells her house, that money should come back to us because that's money that we gave her. But then you forgot all about the fact that when you gave her that money for the down payment on her house, that was because you guys had ran out of Vegas so fast that you didn't give yourselves opportunity to put the houses up in Vegas at an appropriate time to where the houses could actually sell. You didn't wait for the houses to sell, and because she didn't had her name on a house in Vegas, and she had a mortgage in Vegas, and she had payments going for that house in Vegas, she didn't have the down payment for her house in Arizona. But when she sold her house in Vegas, you took the money from the sale of her house in Vegas. The family took that money back because she repaid that money to the family. So she basically repaid the family for the down payment. And at that point, Cody took his name off of her house so that he could put it on your house using the down payment money from Christine's house and Mary's house and Janelle's house. And that's how you were able to get the house you're living in, the land in front of your house, plus make a payment on Coyote Pass. Come on now. The math is there. Again, I'm not a math magician like you, but I can add 1 and 1 and 2.
I've been around, you know.
It's what makes sense. And I'm going to just close with this. There's an old saying about moral turpitude. When it comes to crimes of like morality or where you are as far as like the moral scale. The thing is, if you'll lie, you'll steal. And if you steal, you'll kill. But if you will lie, if you can sit here and look me in the face and tell me a bold-faced lie, then I have no reason to think that you won't steal from me. So at this point, looking at this episode and listening to her tell this story and try to weave these lies and these deceptions and these misdirections, I gotta tell you, you've been called Robyn Brown for years, but in reality, you've been robbing the Browns for years. You are not just a math magician, you are a first wife thief. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree with my assessment? Give me your take. Let me know down below. This has been My Take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.